Welcome back. Quick quake update here. We were just talking about an hour ago about 6 point magnitude possibly happening, and here we just had a quake a little while ago. A 6.1 here at a depth of 10 at this place we were just talking about as well. Right here where this plate boundary line, this new energy area right here. So now we've had a 6.1 here in this region. Okay, this is kind of something I feared a little bit. I pray that this energy is going to get dispersed in this region, but I have a feeling it's going to be creeping up through the whole system. All right, so that 6+ energy is out there. Okay, we talked about this just a little while ago, about an hour ago in my previous show, how the potential for increased energy now because of the sun, because of the earth absorbing all this energy the sun is throwing its way. Okay, and now that this is happened, you see all this naked area, all that still has potential for 6+ energy. Let me show you this again. This is a 6.1 that they're showing. Makes me wonder what it really came in at. All right, doesn't show any tsunami warnings or anything in the region. All right, but downstream here, expect some 6+ magnitude quakes, possibly all through the system now. Okay, because we've had like a burp from beneath come up from magma down below, pushing on the underside of the crust, firing off these deep quakes here. We had, this isn't the deep one. This is a 5 point or a 4.4. There was another deep one down here earlier that triggered this quake. So there's added potential here entering the system. And now, just as I kind of suspected, here's that 6.1 potential just fired off right here. Kind of ironic, we were just talking about this region and the potential for 6+ energy, and here it is. All right, so watch for this energy to possibly travel up through the system. All these naked areas could possibly hit anywhere along there. Okay, and if they've been locked up and there's potential energy still in there that hasn't come out, that could add to it. We could possibly see a bigger quake. Now, something else, hold this in mind, okay? We have this potential here now. Let me go back 3 days and show you the energy that came off the sun 3 days ago. See that full halo? And all this energy, all of this. We're getting hit from 3 sides, 4 sides. There's even something kind of ghostly down there, plus the full halo. All right, we're gonna take it on the chin tomorrow. All right, that's going to add even more pressure from beneath. This 6 energy, I suspect, will travel, and we might see even a deep 6 here that would push 7 energy up through the system. Okay, this next wave that's coming in right there, all this potential, it's going to be absorbed again into our planet, just like we just had this latest storm. I don't think a lot of people are gonna see this one coming. Okay, they all predicted the last one to hit on the 11th. They were a little jump the gun there, but I think everybody's breathing a sigh of relief and not paying attention. This is inbound still. Okay, so we're gonna get another shot. There's your Schumann. There's your Schumann screech that finished. I don't want to talk about that quite yet. Back to this. What we're gonna say. This inbound. Oh, the KP index. So let's come over and open up this one just real quick. I'm talking about this instrument right here, this KP index. We're going to see another spike. I have a feeling we're going to see a spike. See, tomorrow they're calling for a G1 storm. All right, they're predicting a storm, a G1. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot stronger than that. All right, it might catch them off guard. All right, right now the auroras are nice and calm, thankfully, but I saw what got absorbed earlier today. They were big, thick, bright green with red in the middle. Okay, so that means a lot of absorption happened today, and you can see that it caused our latest event. Our absorption happened. Here's the 11th right here. Or no, sorry, this is the 12th right here, UTC time. Okay, it's like 8 hours ahead of us, for some of us at least. Roughly there for most of us. So this event happened first. You see the weakening in the field that we talked about earlier, right through there. Then here's our screeching effect right here today on the 13th already, UTC time. And it's finishing up. We're coming out the backside of it, just kind of like it's going to be about that size. We have more bound energy, so prepare to see another one of these in the next day when this new energy hits, causes the core and shell to grind again. Oh, that's what I should have pulled up. While we're here, let me just try pulling something up on YouTube real quick. Earth's core. Yeah. Let me just see. Yeah, this, I think, gives us an example of it. There it is right there. That's the one I used before. All right, let me. Oh, hang on real quick.
And at first, I thought it looked kind of crazy. But after you, the core could move independently of the crust. That's the key. So the boron never moves in reverse.
All right, so this is here's this. All right, I don't really care for Michio Kaku. He's a little cuckoo. But I want to use this diagram on his screen right here. Let me just pull and scooch here a little bit closer. All right. Now, this inner core, okay, very, very dense. Probably as dense as gold, lead, even denser than that, okay? Then this next layer right here, I feel is a little thinner than what they're depicting. Okay, it's a shell. It's very thin, and it's just around the core, just like a hollow ball with a ball inside of it. Okay, so this is the part that when it grinds on this shell resonates and rings like a bell because it's hollow, and that's the sky quakes that you hear. That low ELF frequency reverberates through the magma, comes up off the crust and out into space. Okay, then it bounces off the magnetosphere back down, and that's what gives us the readings we get on the Schumann resonance. Okay, this dynamo, this metal magnetized ball. Okay, we have magnetic elements that are naturally produced in the earth because metal gets squeezed down by pressure. Okay, it aligns all the molecules in the same direction, making it magnetic. If you have a magnetic ball rotating inside of a semi liquid but compressed down to a metal state by pressure from above, layer around this grinding on this, that's the screeching of the two metals grinding on each other. Okay, and even into the higher frequencies, it starts to get up into 32, and I've seen this thing spike so hard that it went, if you stacked four of it, it still went out the bottom of the fourth chart down. So this is a minor event, really. It looks scary, but it's just a minor event. I've seen this whole page whited out for like a day, for solid white for a full day, and that was not good. All right. So a little update here on your Schumann. You can see our event has kind of ended, but I'm telling you, we got another inbound wave that's due here on the 13th. We're just at the very wee hours of the 13th, so it won't hit until, I'd say, in the next coming day. You know, this next 23 to 22 hour period, we're going to get hit with another wave. It'll take a few 6 hours to absorb. Oh, that's something I want to point out here too while we're here. Um, Let me scoot this in a little bit. You really can't see the timestamps down below here. Let me see if I can catch it just a little bit. All right, a little bit there. All right, this weakening field event right here, where you draw this line and it starts to come back to life. All right, the time between this and the scraping, that's like your absorption time until it starts to grind. All right, and it seems to be right here in this zone was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5.5 hours. Okay, so sometimes it takes 4 to 6 hours. Here it looks like it took about 5.5 hours for that energy to start, for the core and the shell to start grinding. Okay, and I had a better example. I thought this was going to be the one, but when this swells, it wants to swell out into the magma, and it probably does some, but the pressure from everything on top pushing down is so immense that it probably doesn't allow this area to expand very much, and it expands back down onto the core. There's a little boundary area. If you shove this ball back in the hole there, let me get a different example for you guys. That's decent, but I don't like looking at that guy for some reason. What was the one that had the perfect diagram that I was using before? Is it in this one? Oh, I'm sure we're going to have to watch an ad or something now. I'm just trying to see if this has a similar diagram that's a little bit better. I was looking for, oh, here.
Now, we've managed to go hundreds of thousands of miles into space.
Let's see here.
Figured out.
And then even these outer layers, this doesn't have the three-dimensional perspective I wanted. I guess we'll go back to Michio Kaku. That diagram right there. Where is it? Do you see? Oops. You see this little image over here? Right here, right where the core and the outer shell is. This boundary area is really narrow in between the core. Let's see if he's got an example of it here in this video. Come on, show a diagram. All right, well, we'll just go back to the other one. I wanted that three-dimensional effect like this with the ball still, with the core still in there. Do you see this image here is depicting a layer that's a little thinner? Okay, it's a little more realistic. The core is big and round and hot, and then we have this semi-molten pressurized ring right around it with molten lava above it. Okay, this is a different metal than this. They're both magnetized. Let's just go to this again. Where's your diagram, Michio? Where they have it the largest? Please, just find the spot. Alright, that's good enough. Let's just focus in on the diagram up. Well, that's not it. I wish I had like my lab and everything so I could pull up better diagram references and stuff. Pause it there. Alright, so your inner core, see, they think this is a liquid outer core. It's probably liquid that's in a phase under so much pressure that it's magnetic. It's a solid. It's under so much pressure that it acts like a solid. This little core rotating around inside that acts like a gyro that emits the electromagnetic field around the sun, or around the Earth. Now, Another thing that we should point out while we're here at this diagram, the sun's core is very similar. It has a solid core. All right, all the elements that we have on Earth came from the sun. So the core of the sun is very dense. It's a very hard metal, and it has a sheath around it, another outer ring like this that's a different metal than the one down below, because the heavier stuff sinks to the inner core, lighter stuff stays out, even lighter on the way out. Okay, so the heaviest elements are at the core. The second heaviest elements are just outside of it. That boundary area generates the electromagnetic field. Now, the same situation happens on the sun. The core rotates inside of a shell that generates a magnetic field around the sun called the corona. That's the part that burns the hottest, right? It's not the surface of the sun, it's the corona of the sun. And everybody, all these guys are thinking, oh, it's this, it's that creates the corona. No, it's the gyro system inside, just like the Earth. The sun has the same gyro system inside of it and produces the corona. Its gyro is so strong that the magnetic field around it produces light. Okay, that's how strong the Earth's little or the sun's little gyro mechanism is so strong that the magnetic field it produces is so powerful it produces light. All right. What happens when the core and the shell grind together so hard that they stop? Michio, can you answer that question for me? You look a little stymied. Well, let me answer that for you, bud. When the core grinds on the shell so hard that they stop, well, that magnetic field drops, allowing cosmic rays, solar storms, to penetrate a lot harder, a lot deeper, and have more effects, penetrating deeper, causing the core to react even more. Okay, so this is kind of like a runaway train sometimes when you got this weakening effect happening and we get hit with another CME. All right, so we might take it on the chin. Now, Michio, I got a question for you, buddy. What happens when the core of the sun and the shell around the core of the sun squeeze down so hard that they lock up? I bet you my class knows this answer. I bet you the people in my room, in my chat, know the answer to what happens when the sun's core stops spinning inside the shell. Yeah, the sun goes dark. Yeah, that magnetic field that would drop would be that corona of the sun would drop, and the sun would go literally black as sackcloth. So that's how the sun could possibly go dark and black as sackcloth, as if something causes a core shell inside the sun. We're already having these events, these lockup events in the Earth. It these other bodies are affecting every planet as well as the sun. So we might have that effect happening to the sun here in the future. Okay? So there's a little class for you. I hope you were taking notes there, Michio. Okay? Because I answered a bunch of questions for you. All right. You see, the Earth's crust is like paper thin compared to all these boundaries and all these layers. There's different elements and different boundaries at different weights and different densities. Okay. So they separate along their elemental weights, basically. And then we have the mixture of the lava that has most of the elements molten in it. Okay, so it's melted core and some melted shell. It's all the elements mixed together in this other layer of the magma. There's probably a couple little bands between the core shell mechanism, like they show here, and then there's a bigger, thicker band of magma. Okay, so that Pressure down below pushes out in all directions. And if you looked at the crust of the earth like an eggshell, what happens when you overcook an egg? It explodes from inside out and it cracks the shell on the outside. And you're going to see fissures on this crust and lava coming up through perforations anywhere in the crust because it's pushing out in all directions, trying to relieve the pressure that's built up down below. Okay, we need pressure releases to stop this core grinding, halting effect. Okay, we need that magnetic field. It's most important that that magnetic field stay strong and stay up because we can't have exotic particles, all kinds of stuff like that coming through the atmosphere. All right, it's weakening the atmosphere. It's also affecting the core more. So there's your little diagram I wanted to show you of the sun and explaining this boundary between the sphere and this semi-liquid, semi-metal under, liquid under so much pressure that it behaves like a metal. The molecules line up, it becomes magnetic. You got a magnetic ball rotating inside a magnetic shell, produces a magnetic field. Okay, same with the sun. Now, we have this inbound energy coming off the sun, gonna hit the earth, it's gonna go, whoops. We're gonna see the auroras light up again. All right, they're nice and weak. We're in between blasts right now. This is like a little breathing session. Hopefully, it's enough for the Earth to recuperate and brace for the next blast. Okay. Um, I pray I'm wrong. I'll be glad to be wrong, but I expect we'll see another spike coming here. Another G. Well, they're predicting a G1. I don't want to go too far out on a limb. I say it might be a 3 or a 4, so it has the potential. I don't know. Look at all this energy coming off on the 10th. All right. Hello. You guys be the judge of that. That's the 10th due, the 13th due this starting from now for the next 24 hours. This is your inbound energy that's going to be affecting the earth. This volcano in Iceland has the potential to go off. We might see some more earthquakes there. Whatever our event that's going on here currently could produce a bigger quake swarm. We might see another quake swarm somewhere else. Let me refresh this. I'm surprised we haven't seen another quake since this 6.1. All right, but there it is. I'm not going to try to say I told you so or I called it or whatever. I'm just showing you this is the effect that it has. And sure enough, we had results. I mean, instantly, within an hour of me saying, hey, watch out, we might see six. Here it is. So that was pretty quick. And again, with this next wave coming in, that's going to boost this energy down here up even more. I hate to say another magnitude, but we could possibly be looking at sevens in this region. If we have a deep quake here that's a magnitude 6 or plus, a 6 plus deep one right here, that translates to 7 energy at the surface. So I'm going to watch this closely because I had a feeling, the way things were kind of looking and panning out. So I almost kind of hate to end this right now for fear it's going to pop up right away and catch us off guard again. So there's your Schumann event ending up. Whoops. Oop. I just refreshed it and I also see, let's pull and scoot. Pull and scoot, scoot and pull. All right, you can see it very faintly here on the very edge here. Here's another event starting right here. You can see the orange and turn into white. We're going to have another little bubble probably right in this area in the next few hours. Can you see this little line already starting to form, this glowy spot right there where the arrow was circling? It's the starting of another one of these. Okay, because there's so much energy coming in, and yeah, but I have a feeling this this wave of energy here, like a quadruple shot, might catch people off guard tomorrow. Not you guys, but the solar weather community. I'm not trying to put it out there or predict it, or I'm just trying to warn you guys what I see coming here. See that big old blast of energy? This side too has energy. There's energy up top. There's even something very sneaky down south here. Where to go? Right there. All right. So even when there's not energy, these charged objects still bring heat, radiation, particles, and stuff with them. And I have a feeling that the body that passed yesterday, let's go back to the ninth, or not yesterday, the body that passed 3 days ago, yesterday, caused this tsunami event in South America. This one down here passed south of the Earth and induced some activity on the southern part of the planet. I have a feeling whatever this is, the gravity, the magnetic field, whatever, may have been responsible for inducing a tidal surge, the pressure, the atmospheric tsunami, whatever they were trying to call it, okay? That could very well be a contributing factor because all of these are contributing factors. There's a big old halo there. That's the ninth that hit us the 12th. Then we just go one more day. That's what hit us today. Now here's what's going to hit us tomorrow. Or already beginning now the next 24 hours. All right. So a lot of energy there, a full halo CME. Okay. And I'm showing you that the Earth is on a very tight gap in this core shell gap right here is very, very tight. So any kind of influence causes both of them to heat up and grind again. So that gap is closed and is micro thin. So any kind of inbound energy is going to cause more scraping like that. And usually after an event like this, you see the Earth's magnetic field take a break or get a breather there. And here it should be taking a breather, but it looks like we're having another impact. So hold on tight. We're going to see volcanoes activity, uptick in that, uptick in quake activity, possible uptick in magnitude again from 6 to possibly mid-range 6 to 7. I don't know. I'll let you guys kind of be the judge of that, but from what I see coming, we're probably going to see a couple more sixes along the system here somewhere. Mid-range fives. This is all pressure that has yet to unleash in some of these zones. All right, all of this other stuff is older than this quake. This is the most recent quake on the map now. So we have this energy out there at 6.1 energy. It could also um, go off over here by Sumatra and stuff. We have these volcanoes here, Merapi and and ooh, Krakatoa here, Merapi and Semeru are all right here in this pressure area. As this pressure comes downstream, if we don't have a big quake release, we could possibly see volcanoes going off in this area. Krakatoa's right here in this channel. We got Merapi and Semeru already going off. Alright, this one right here. Alright, and that's the old caldera of old Krakatoa, and then there's the son of Krakatoa. Ooh, what's going on? Oh, it's venting steam, you guys. Look at this. And we have a mud flow coming out of it. That's a lava raft. It looks like. Yeah, I think that's a lava raft from activity underneath this volcano, right along the shore, right here. Okay, so watch this area closely. Everywhere along this trench, this Sumatra area. Watch them. They have big quakes sometimes. Hopefully, it's nothing too big to set off a tsunami, but with this six already here, potential is out there with more potential on the way. Okay, I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news here, but hold on tight. Expect to see some of this stuff possibly unfold here because we got more energy. Then that's the 10th. All right, so that's coming in the next 24 hours. Let's even go to the 11th. So we'll see the next 48 hours of inbound energy. Remember this one? We just looked at this one yesterday, and it looks very similar to what we saw today. See that object there? Okay, a lot of energy coming with that one. This one seems to be have a bigger companion with it. This going over the northern hemisphere this time, we could possibly see one of these pressure induced, atmospheric pressure induced tsunamis again, possibly in the northern hemisphere from quite a big object there. Okay? Let's pray that its trajectory. I can't do math on the trajectories anymore because I don't have a secondary satellite to compare it to anymore. So this is all basically just kind of guessing now, but hopefully they get Stereo A or another satellite out there to where I can at least take a fair guesstimate between two angles and do a little math and give you a much better trajectory. But I can tell you right now, with all the spiritual warfare that's going on and the importance of this planet and what it really is, that all of this stuff is coming here for a reason. There's the whole universe coming here to see God's grand finale. Um, Anyways, so that is the the next 48 hours. That's day after tomorrow. Okay, so I just showed you 48 hours of inbound energy, inbound objects. We already just experienced some 6 point energy from the latest absorption event. Okay, the other day there was an orange band here and a red band up there. Probably in the next 24 hours, we will see another one of those events here on this graph. And I might be asleep then, but watch closely. You guys can come over to this instrument too. It's called Solar Ham. It's easy to just go type it in, find it out, and you can monitor this yourself instead of waiting for my reports if you like to be up and up on it. Some people wait for the reports, but all right. See this KP index of 5 right here. I don't think they were expecting this one. They were expecting the one on the 12th. All right. This one, I think maybe caught them off guard, and I think we're about to have another one. All right. Watch, we'll see the auroras go from dim to bright again, probably during the daytime tomorrow. There'll be another auroral event where it gets thick and green. Probably when this might have several sessions of dying off, having another event, one on the south and then one on the north. They could switch because we have stuff going north and south. I'll go back to the 10th here real quick. Sorry, I don't sleep much. Stuff coming off to the north part. That would be the northern hemisphere. This almost looks even with our positioning at the sun, so that might hit the central latitudes. Over here is pretty even. So we got both sides of the sun right there on the top, and there's something sneaking down here. It's not too right there, not too bad. So it looks like maybe tomorrow's influence is going to be more northerly hemisphere directed or influenced. Okay. Um, let's back out of that. What was this overall? Oh no, that's just the same thing. Um, that was my example. So, whoops. Let me just kind of look around here real quick. All of this energy is prior to this new six energy coming. So basically, this whole area is naked and ready for a new six to roll in there. Okay. And the way things have been working, don't be surprised if we see three sixes because the warfare that's been going on is off the hook. Oh, what I wanted to do here, this is not showing any quakes currently, but let's change that. What? Oh, this one. Thank you. 7-day all magnitudes right there. All right. Let me just take that down too. All right. So even though it's not showing much right now, here's your little earthquake swarm that's going on. It's this. Where's the town? Okay, here's the town. It's this ridge that runs right through here. This volcanic ridge. Let me. You see this little spine right here? This is what they're saying is the possible event along this line, which cuts right through this town. So they've evacuated everybody. I'm sure you guys already know that, but here's some of the bigger quakes in this area: 4.6, 4.5. This one's a 5.0. This activity has jumped out to the water as well, so they could have a phreatic eruption out here under the water, which would not be good. Those are more explosive because it interacts with the water being highly volatile and explosive, especially seawater. All right, so mid-range fours and a five right there. So watching that place carefully, especially with this latest inbound energy, and I could almost tell you this lava is so close to the surface here. I think it's only just a couple kilometers down, so we're we're due to see some kind of event here to relieve the pressure there. Sticking around this site to see if we'd have another six jump because how quickly that one erupted. Just refresh. How quickly that one erupted right after our last show. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw another one here really soon along this area. Anywhere now, especially fulcrum points. Okay, right here by Taiwan, we've seen activity up here by Japan. So all the different fulcrum points where we see this stuff usually dumping off energy. Watch out for inbound six, and then later on, well, probably tomorrow. Let's see, the wave coming in, absorbing. Yeah, I'd say midday, the 13th, we might start seeing this six energy spread and even jump to potential seven. Okay, so heads up on the Pacific Rim, everybody on a fault line or whatever. We just got a six that went off, and we got the potential for more energy coming in, charging it even more. Alright, that's basically all I wanted to tell you guys. Um, where was this? Let's refresh this one more time. Let's see if we can get one more little stripe on there. Yeah, a little bit more. You can see it. Ooh, excuse me. You can see it developing a little bit. Almost seems to be tapering off already. So it might just be a little tiny blast already, kind of done. But I expect to see more in the next coming days here on this graph. So you guys still sticking around? I think we're done with all that. I'm really kind of wanting to see what's going to happen here on the 13th, and I want to see the rest of the event that happened on the 12th, because something was unfolding there, and the last couple frames were quite disturbing. So whatever they deleted was probably pretty good. Probably some juicy material in it, and that's why they don't want it seeing it. But for right now, this 13th should already be refreshed and showing us data for tomorrow, but it's not. It didn't even finish the 12th, so we might be on a little dry spell of data from this. I want to come over to back out of this. Just take a peek at the GOES X-ray flux because it continues to record, even though we don't have the visual of what's happening on the sun. We do still have the graph, and let me even go in deeper. Sorry, it's totally early morning, late at night for my part in my neck of the woods. All right, climbing back out from under the sea floor here. We've had a little pop right here, and something else is underway. Nothing too major. This is the concerning thing: is this pop downward? That looks like the sun just kind of went, almost like it had a heart attack for a second. And this little line down below is the B range or A range. Sorry, let me pull this over. The color coding. This B range should be yellow, okay? Because anything down in that B range, that means the sun's getting weak. This A range should be accordingly red, because if the sun's heart rate goes down into the A range, this is like the sun's heartbeat, kind of. All right, this is the X-ray flux, and this is the core and the shell of the sun doing its little thing kind of too. And here you can see it just kind of went boo, whoop, and came back up again. So let's hope we don't see any more of these little incidents. The eclipsing of the satellite, where it comes down, makes a big valley, and then comes back up and does it at the same time every day. That's something different. This is something different than that, is what I'm saying. This is not I don't know. We'll see in the next day's reading if we get something similar at that same time, but very suspicious, especially after the activity we just witnessed on the sun. Okay, so we'll watch this kind of carefully, the absorption carefully. Well, want to see more activity. I got other satellite or other spots to use, but I like this one with their difference model. So hopefully they'll refresh this tomorrow. Okay. I guess we'll do a quick little spiritual report after this one too. For you guys that are sticking around for that, we'll even get into this. You know what? Well, we got some time. Is my battery charging? Alright. Let's take you back somewhere. Back to the good old days. Hang on here. I'm going somewhere for a reason. Boom. Quick ad, probably, or not, on my channel. Thank you.
Class flares that came off the sun as we are entering the grand solar minimum.
Alrighty.
Here's our object right.
Alright. Oh, thank you, Kenley. Thank you for the kind words there. I'm trying my best to do it what I can here. I'm getting old, worn out. But this happened on September 10th of 2017. This event happened 13 days before the Revelation 12 star alignment. This is the day my life turned upside down and changed. What you're looking at is Nibiru here, and kind of really tinted out a little bit. You can see that there's plasma all the way around it. Okay, thin little ring of plasma. Then there are wings, like plasma wings, curving and going back right here. And a faint one, it's kind of hiding in the plasma. There's another one right there. If we kind of tilt it back a little bit, you can see the other wing there. All right, so the fabled winged planet Nibiru captured in a solar flare on September 10th, 2017, 13 days before the Revelation 12 sign. In the Revelation 12, it says there was a great sign in heaven, a woman clothed in the sun with the moon at her feet and a crown of 12 stars, and she was pregnant and about to give birth. Then there was another sign in heaven. A great dragon stood before the woman to devour the child. Well, the way the Bible puts it in the what's the term I'm looking for? The way they state it, it sounds like this other sign, this sign of the dragon, happens afterward. But if you read it closely, it says the dragon stood in front of the woman or stood before the woman. All right, well, this is in front, 13 days in front, or 13 days before the woman. Here is the dragon standing before, 13 days before the woman. You guys grasping this? It's not too tough. Now there's more. Let me continue to play this.
Here. This looks like Nibiru. It's got a wing coming off on this side and a wing coming off on that side. That's not all.
Volume.
Behind that is this big object right here. This is what's causing our flares. Here's a conduit of plasma that is sucking off of our sun, going into this planet. Here's a damage ring or an impact zone on this planet right here. You can see Nibiru sticking out in front of it here.
All right, can you guys see that image there? Can you see how this CME is splashing over this black spheroid object? All right, see it going over the top of it right here, even hitting some of the face of it right here. Here is your bigger object right here, and let me I want to get in closer on this conduit of plasma here. This little conduit of plasma is a cone-shaped conduit coming off the sun from the top to the bottom, coming together in a cone and slamming into the surface of this and spreading out in a circular fashion called a damage ring or an impact zone. All right, and what I'm going to try to do here is slowly take this out of the and get you up close to that conduit and the impact zone. Okay, the further back you get, the kind of easier it is to see. Right about there. Well, right back in the tripod is about the best spot I had. Alright, so hopefully you can see this. This is Nibiru and the fabled Nemesis. Alright, both fabled plants. Not the same object. They're together, but it's not the same object. The bigger one is bigger than our sun. Okay, and it's just the core. Alright, let me point something else out for you guys here. This white circle here represents the size of the sun, not the black circle, the occulter on the camera that it keeps the sun from blinding the camera. The white circle represents the size of the sun. Look how much bigger this thing is than our sun. And it has another stellar core, Nibiru, rotating around it. All right, this might be inhabited. Okay, this is our binary twin, possibly. Okay, that's burned out, gone, neutron star. Not red dwarf, but it fits the definition of a lot of things, including a hole. Okay? Now, what you guys need to know is a black hole. Let me get my microphone plugged back in here. Now, what you guys need to know is a black hole is not a hole. That is a deceptive term. A black hole is a solid spheroid so dense the material it's made out of has squeezed every electron and every proton out of it. The only thing left is neutrons jammed together in a density so dense that a teaspoon of it would weigh more than the Earth. Okay? Imagine something, if you took the entire mass, every atom of the Earth, and slammed it down into the size of a BB, a copper BB that you shoot out of a rifle, the entire Earth's mass squeezed down to a BB, how dense that BB would be. It would be so dense that it absorbs and bends light. And that's exactly what you're seeing here. This thing is virtually invisible unless it interacts with the sun and the sun drapes over it. It's like an invisible table. You can't see an invisible table until a tablecloth is thrown over it and drapes around the corners and paints the contour. That's what's happening in this event right here. The CME is splashing over the top of it, painting the contour, illuminating the conduit that's being sucked off the sun and the damage ring on the surface of this. Then you can see the other one sticking out right here. Let me back it up a little bit. Now, this is a real event, all right? It coincides with the prophecy, and God showed this to me, and my world turned upside down, and he told me to warn everybody. He's like, I showed it to you because you would be brave enough to report on it. So, that's why I report on this stuff, you guys. Well, all started here with a biblical prophecy. A 2,000-year-old prophecy came true. Not just this one, but the star alignment as well. So that's two 2,000-year-old prophecies that have come true that I just showed you, okay? If you don't know about the star alignment, here, let's go take a peek at the star alignment. 5 minutes. Revelation 12 in 5 minutes. There it is. Okay, right here, Revelation 12.
September 23rd, 2017.
What day? September 23rd, 2017. This is the other star. This is the star alignment that matched precisely what it said in the Bible. This should be enough right here to convince you that God's in control of the heavens.
Will align to fulfill a 2,000-year-old prophecy, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. Before you click off this video, I understand there's been many false predictions. Breath of his mouth.
Alright, anyways, I just wanted to show you the star alignment here real quick. And then watch here is Jupiter.
Stars. Prophecy. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman.
Watch here as Jupiter enters the womb and oscillates in this womb of Virgo for 9 months. The same gestation period as a human. Right there. Alright? Precision in the stars. Alright? It actually came true. And the other half of the prophecy came true 10 days before. Whoops, where'd that go? Oh, dang it. Come on back. Anyways, so I just showed you two prophecies that came true on the same day, or just within 13 days of each other. This, and God showed this to me. He made me sit here for hours until I finally saw it and realized what I was looking at. I didn't see it for a long time. I struggled to see this image for a long time until he was like, no, think the big picture. So I zoomed in on it. Nope, couldn't see it. It wasn't until I left my cursor sitting down here in this little pop-up image, compresses it even more. It wasn't until I walked away from it, left this sitting on here, and when I came back, I saw the image compressed in this window, and now that's what you're seeing now, is the compressed image. Because what scientists and NASA showed you was so big and in your face, you couldn't even make out what was going on there. But it wasn't until I backed away like 10 dimensions back that you can see what's going on there. Let me find the other image right here. Alright. So, oh, that's what's going on. So, two prophecies, two 2,000-year-old prophecies came true right when they said they were. The Revelation 12 woman, that's like a celestial signpost to let you know, hey, you have now entered a certain time period, right? 7 years from that date, probably. Okay, which would be September of 2024. So here's the real Nibiru. It's so light. You can see it attracts plasma. In this event, you can see plasma coming off the south pole of the sun and reaching out. You can also see plasma coming out of the north pole of the sun and reaching out. This is almost a complete electricity. For those of you who are electricians or understand how, you have to have a complete circuit. And when this thing looks like it crosses a boundary, this looks like there'd be another boundary on this side of the magnetic field line, or a boundary from the sun. And when it crossed through it, it ignited it and lit it up, causing the energy, the plasma that's draped around this object to glow, giving it those wings. The ancients probably saw the same effect and thought it was a winged planet. Okay, and you're looking at it right there. That's the real Nibiru right there. It's not some lens flare captured on your cell phone. It's not something on an FAA camera. You can only see this when it interacts with the sun. Otherwise, it's virtually invisible. It absorbs light. It doesn't reflect light. So, therefore, you can't see it. But when interacting with the sun, this plasma drapes over it, surrounds it, caresses it, whatever, drapes off of it, and makes it, and makes the image, or makes what's there seeable. It makes the invisible visible. Pretty cool what God does there. Okay, so 2,000 years ago, prophesied, came true. The woman in the stars, 2,000 years ago, prophesied, came true. Okay, this, another one I'm going to show you, prophesied 2,000 years ago, came true. Bingo. Come on. Don't keep them hanging. Look familiar? Yep. Prophesied 2,000 years ago. Came true on Easter. On Easter. That should scream volumes. That should make you jump out of your chair. This event, when it happened to me, I was floored for quite a while, and it took me a long time to process these pictures, to get them compressed down into the format so you can see it, and then to filter it so it highlights it, makes it kind of pop so you guys can see it. All right, another 2,000-year-old prophecy come true. I just showed you three 2,000-year-old prophecies that have come true. That should give you pause for a minute and just kind of go, hmm, how did he get this picture? This was a lot of pain. I had to hold my arms up with the cell phone for almost a full hour. All blood drained out of my arms. I got a shattered shoulder, so just raising my hand hurts, let alone holding it up there for a while. So what you're looking at is a lot of pain as well to capture these for you. And I showed you the lion face where it turns into the lion face. That's the second half hour of this whole event. All right, where is it? Where we go? Jump back and forth. All right, the lion of the tribe of Judah. That's two prophecies right there, kind of in one. Jesus showing up in the clouds. Also, the lion of the tribe of Judah. I count that as like 2 in 1. Prophesied 2,000 years ago. So now I basically just showed you 4 prophecies come true. 2,000-year-old prophecies coming true. Okay? Pretty cool. Alright. Oh, wait. What was that? Go back to this one. And do this. Alright. I guess we're reading something too. Make me your focal point as you move through this day. Just as a spinning ballerina must keep returning her eyes to a given point to maintain her balance, so you must keep returning your focus to me. Circumstances are in flux, and the world seems to be whirling around you. The only way to keep your balance is to fix your eyes on me, the one who never changes. If you gaze too long at your circumstances, you will become dizzy and confused. Look at me, refreshing yourself in my presence, and your steps will be steady and sure. Welcome problems as perspective lifters. My children tend to sleepwalk through their days until they bump into an obstacle that stymies them. If you encounter a problem with no immediate solution, your response to that situation will take you either up or down. You can lash out at the difficulty, resenting it and feeling sorry for yourself. This will take you down into a pit of self pity. Alternatively, the problem can be a ladder, enabling you to climb up and see your life from my perspective, viewed from above. The obstacle that frustrated you is only a light and momentary trouble. Once your perspective has been heightened, you can look away from the problem altogether, turn towards me, and see the light of my presence shining on you. All right, guys, a little update there. Activity's picking up. We got earthquakes on the move here. Let's just take a peek. Nothing new since we were last here. Just quick check before we go. All right, so that may have released a little bit of energy there, the 6.1, but just to let you guys heads up that potential's out there, and there's a bunch of open spots that are gonna fill in, I think, here real soon. Especially with all the it's gone. Especially with all the inbound energy. All right. So I think that's it for our quick little update. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got an idea of what I was talking about, the shell and the core there, and how it works. And let's just all pray that we take another shot on the chin and keep going. Everybody kind of brace for impact a little bit for another solar storm to impact us here. Okay, and I'll be watching it carefully. That's it for this little brief update. Just wanted to keep you guys in the loop. And keep watching. There's that potential out there for volcanoes and earthquakes, especially with that inbound energy. So hold on tight and stay aware and keep praying. That's it for now. Love y'all. I'll be back.